His last filter burnt out. The hospital in Boulder will have a crate of them.
You're gonna have to go below the line at least a dozen times.
Welcome back to Epic Film Sleuth. Today we're going to recap the 2024 movie titled Elevation. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The story begins with an eerie and haunting voice narrating the catastrophic collapse of human civilization. Gigantic shrink holes started to appear mysteriously across the globe, releasing terrifying entities known as Reapers. These monstrous beings, with glowing red eyes and grotesquely twisted limbs, unleashed unparalleled destruction, wiping out 9% of the human population within just a few weeks. Humanity's greatest weapons and strategies proved utterly ineffective against these creatures. Just when extinction seemed inevitable, humanity made a crucial discovery. The Reapers were incapable of ascending above 8,000 feet. This altitude limitation became the thin lifeline for survival. Fleeing to the mountains, the survivors carved out a precarious existence in high-altitude safe zones. The story, titled Elevation, picks up 3 years after this apocalyptic invasion. Hunter, an adventurous and curious young boy named Hunter, is introduced as he gazes out over his mountain village from a hillside. Despite his father's stern warnings, Hunter cannot resist the allure of the world below the critical 8,000-foot boundary. He ventures down to play with his friends, their carefree laughter echoing in the thin mountain air. Suddenly, their joy is shattered as a massive shadow looms over them. Hunter turns and freezes in terror as a Reaper, its glowing eyes fixed intently on him, emerges from the forest. With his heart pounding, Hunter sprints uphill as fast as he can. The Reaper gives chase, but halts abruptly at the invisible altitude barrier, snarling and retreating in frustration. Its sinister gaze lingers on Hunter before it vanishes back into the woods. Breathless and visibly shaken, Hunter returns to his village, Lost Girl's Refuge, which is perched safely at 8,469 feet above sea level. His father, Will, scolds him harshly for breaking the rules, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger. Life at such high altitudes is already a struggle for Hunter, who suffers from asthma, and Will's frustration stems from his deep love and concern for his son's safety. Despite the dangers, Hunter's adventurous spirit remains undeterred. He dreams of freedom beyond the confines of their sanctuary, yearning for a life unshackled by fear. Lost Girl's Refuge is one of humanity's last strongholds, home to 193 survivors who work tirelessly to sustain their fragile community. Every person has a role, from tending crops in rocky soil to scavenging for supplies in abandoned lowland areas. Hunter and his best friend, Katie, are part of the hunting team tasked with foraging and setting traps in the surrounding forests. Will often worries about Hunter's reckless nature, while Katie defends her friend, saying, "He's growing up, Will." These hills feel like a prison to him. Sooner or later, we'll have to face the Reapers head-on. We need to be ready. Meanwhile, Nina, the village's brilliant yet perpetually exhausted scientist, works relentlessly in her makeshift laboratory. Her goal is to develop a weapon capable of defeating the Reapers. Test after test ends in failure, as her bullets shatter uselessly against the creature's seemingly impenetrable exoskeletons. Despite her mounting frustration and the pressure to succeed, Nina refuses to give up, knowing the survival of her community, and possibly the entire human race, depends on her work. One evening, a dire crisis unfolds. Hunter's oxygen filter runs out. Will hurriedly replaces it with their last spare, but the grim reality sets in. There are no backups left. Without a new filter, Hunter's asthma will make survival impossible. The nearest supply is located in the ruins of Boulder Hospital, far below the safe altitude at 6,000 feet. Determined to save his son, Will resolves to undertake the dangerous mission himself. On Hunter's birthday, Will surprises him with a rare and precious treat, a bowl of mac and cheese, a nostalgic reminder of life before the Reapers. Later, he confides in Katie about his plan to retrieve the oxygen filters. Katie, unwilling to let him face such peril alone, insists on accompanying him. Together, they approach Nina for help. That night, Will begins preparing for the dangerous journey ahead. He studies maps, charts their route, and plans the next steps. With his son's life hanging in the balance, he knows he needs help. Next, he visits to approaches Nina, the only survivor of the previous mission to hunt the Reapers. Will reminds her that she was with his wife, Tara, and the rest of the team when they went to face the creatures. Of the 50 people who were killed, Nina was the only one to return. Will's voice is filled with desperation as he asks for her help. He admits that he understands it's wrong to ask, but this is for his son's life. Nina listens, her face hardening as she recalls the horrors of that day. She tells Will that these creatures are unlike anything humanity has ever faced. They cannot be killed. No weapon, no bomb, no ammunition has any effect on them. She reveals that during their last encounter, she accidentally retrieved a piece of Reaper skin and spent months studying it, but all her experiments failed. To this day, she hasn't found a single way to harm the creatures. For her, the idea of going below 8,000 feet to confront them is more than just dangerous. It feels like an invitation to death. But Nina doesn't turn Will away entirely. She agrees to help, but not by fighting the Reapers. Instead, she offers him a radio frequency compass. This device detects the presence of the creatures by picking up the unique electronic frequency emitted by the carbon dioxide humans exhale, which the creatures use to track their prey. Unlike trees, which absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, humans breathe in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. The Reapers, she explains, are drawn to this carbon dioxide and can sense it from miles away. The compass will help them avoid the creature's path, though it offers no protection against them once they are close. Will listens carefully, understanding that this is their only hope. With the compass in hand, he prepares for the treacherous journey, knowing the risk is high, but it's a risk he must take to save his son. At dawn, Will, Katie, and Nina embark on their treacherous journey, armed with limited supplies and rudimentary weapons. Using the compass, they navigate carefully, avoiding Reaper patrols as they descend into dangerous lower altitudes. Along the way, they pass through an abandoned battlefield littered with charred tanks, shattered aircraft, and broken weapons. A grim reminder of humanity's desperate but futile resistance. They scavenge what they can before moving on. In Alt Vista, they stumble upon a dilapidated cable car system that could significantly shorten their journey. Will manages to restart the motor, but the noise attracts a Reaper. The monstrous creature charges at them, impervious to their weapons. They narrowly escape aboard the cable car, only for the Reaper to sever the cables, sending them plummeting to the ground. Miraculously, they survive the crash and take refuge in an abandoned resort to recover. That night, over a rare sip of whiskey, Nina raises an unsettling question. Why do the Reapers only hunt humans? There are animals down there, horses, goats, deer, but they're left untouched. It's almost as if the Reapers are programmed specifically to target us. Her observation sparks a chilling new theory. The Reapers might not be living creatures, but highly advanced machines with a singular purpose: to eradicate humanity. Nina begins analyzing their behavior, noting the precision and strategy in their attacks. The next leg of their journey takes them into Calv Mines, an expansive network of tunnels leading to Boulder Hospital. Their planned route is blocked, forcing them to venture deeper into Reaper territory. As they navigate the oppressive darkness, a Reaper picks up their trail. Holding their breath, they hide in silence, but the creature draws closer. In a desperate act of sacrifice, Will sets off a bomb to create a diversion, allowing them to escape. In the chaos, Katie, caught and killed, her agonized screams echoing through the mine. The devastating loss leaves Will and Nina grief-stricken, but even more determined to complete their mission. At Boulder Hospital, they find the oxygen filters amidst the rubble of a collapsed building. The scene is a grim reminder of humanity's final desperate days. Toppled walls, abandoned medical equipment, and skeletal remains. As they prepare to leave, a Reaper ambushes them. Thinking quickly, Will lures the creature toward an oxygen cylinder and shoots it, causing a massive explosion that forces the Reaper to retreat. During their escape, they stumble upon a factory producing cobalt supercells, a powerful energy source. Nina hypothesizes that an electric charge might disrupt the Reaper's systems. She modifies her bullets with the supercells and successfully disables a Reaper, confirming their mechanical nature. With the oxygen filters secured, Will and Nina race back to the village, pursued relentlessly by Reapers. At 7,995 feet, one of the creatures closes in. Just as all hope seems lost, Nina fires her modified weapon, destroying the Reaper in a brilliant surge of energy. They reach the village just in time to save Hunter. Overwhelmed with relief, Will embraces his son tightly. "We know how to fight them now," he whispers, his voice filled with determination. Nina immediately begins drafting plans for a larger weapon system based on their discovery. The survivors broadcast their findings to the scattered remnants of humanity, igniting a spark of hope. Armed with supercell-powered weapons, humanity launches a counter-offensive, reclaiming their planet one battle at a time. Lost Girl's refuge becomes a beacon of resilience, welcoming new survivors and uniting humanity in the fight against the Reapers. In the story's final scene, Will stands beside Hunter, watching as a convoy of survivors arrives, bringing fresh energy and determination to the resistance. The tale ends on a hopeful note, but a post-credits scene delivers a chilling twist. 3 enormous alien crafts descend toward Earth, their engines emitting a deep, ominous hum. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience braced for the next chapter of humanity's struggle. With this scene, the story ends here. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, and hit the like button to help us out. Until next time, take care.